Good morning, friends. As we have discussed in the last class, presentation, probability and statistics for OCS month 2019 GS2, and we have categorically discussed topics like mean, median, mode, and arithmetic mean, geometric mean, and harmonic mean. So today again I am welcoming all the viewers on behalf of Apti Plus Academy for Civil Service for the part 2 and the most crucial part of our video, which includes probability. So taking you to the definitions of the probability one by one. Let's see the definitions. Okay, see the first definition. See, before I start the particular discussion regarding probability, what do you mean by probability? Probability means chances occurring, something happening of chances. What are the chances of happening something? That is called probability. So it is a itself, it is something which you have to understand very with clarity, so that people can solve the problems or they can understand the language problem. See, in most of the probability or permutation combination, people used to filter in areas like language problems. So again and again I am advising all my viewers to understand that the language problems should be clear to you. Unless until you are having language problem, you can solve the particular problems. So probability itself a vast area, but from the examination perspective, from the OPSC perspective, we have taken selected questions. Again, I am saying selected questions, which will help you to understand the type of question which are coming in the exam. See, if I will tell I will be discussing entire probability in a single class, it is something, it is a kind, quite ludicrous. So I am not doing that by criticizing or by making things something laughable. I am just making the subject easier for you by taking some important questions and definition. So coming to the topic, definition. If the fundamental of the first definition, if a random experiment, you can throw a dice, you can toss up a coin, results in exhaustive, mutually exclusive, and equally likely outcomes out of which M are favorable to happening of an event, then probability of occurrence A, usually denoted by PA, is given by, this is the formula, favorable cases of A, exhaustive number of cases. Exhaustive means total number of cases that can be possible. If rolling a dice, I can have 1 to 6. I can have 1 to 6 cases. Okay, I can have 1 to 6 cases. Means 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, likewise. Okay, these are the exhaustive cases. Favorable number of cases, there must be 1 or there must be 2, there must be 3, like this. That is called favorable cases. So mutually exclusive, while I am throwing, what is exclusive? Exhaustive means total number of cases we are having. What is exclusive? If I am throwing a dice, there must be a single outcome. I cannot get 1 or 2 or 1 or 3 at the same time. That is called mutually exclusive. Or happening of two events cannot be occurred at the same time. That is called mutually exclusive. And that which is mutually exclusive, that is also known as disjoint event. Mind it, disjoint. This is called disjoint also. So this formula that should be known to you. So definition is given by James Bernoulli. We do not require that. Obviously, remarks is that sometimes in some cases, if I am going for complementary event, means something is, if the unfavorable event or complementary event is just opposite of that. So PA dash is equal to 1 minus PA, means if something will happen, if in a basket 5 were having 5 oranges are good, So what is the probability of but what is the probability of getting rotten uh, or rotten oranges? That is called your complementary event. Unfavorable event, the favorable event and unfavorable event. If we combine together, you will get PA and P dash, that is you will get the 1. This is the thing. This is what the most fundamental definition of probability. Okay, hope you understand this. Coming to next slide. Very interesting. Probability of occurrence at least one of the two events A and B is given by. This is something reminding me about the set theories. So when I am saying A union B, I am taking A plus B minus A intersection B. Same thing it happens here. At least, okay, at least the word at least will give you the set 3 formula of A union B formula. So similarly, here the thing happened. Okay, when you in the question you will find at least this will come, at least that will come, then you will use this particular formula. See, I am again reminding my viewers that you should carefully understand the language of the particular questions. Once you understand the language of the question, your answer making will be very much smoother or easier. Okay, next. Theory is that these are the important theories, so that's you have to understand. Once you understand the theory, you can apply that. And second part is your language. Once you understand, then you will understand the language, you can put the formula and get the answer. So try to adapt. And almost all the students, as I know, I have gone through most of the 80 or 70% students used to leave the probability question in the examination hall. So for me, for me, I have for them, I have a simple suggestion. Go through the problems of last 5 years questions. Try to solve the problems. Try to analyze the problems and accordingly use some books. I am recommending the best book for this particular theory. Why I am saying the best book? The OPSC questions are directly copying from that book. The book name is S.C. Gupta, Fundamental for Statistics. So you can categorically you can use that book. Okay, the S.C. Gupta for this particular theories and problems. Okay. Probability happening of any of the two mutually disjoint events when mutually exclusive events is equal to the sum of their individual probabilities. Symbolically, for disjoint events A and B means mutually exclusive events, PA union B, where PA plus PB, P probability A, P probability of B. What does it mean? You don't have A intersection B. A intersection B, no, A intersection B will be not coming because here A intersection B is missing because there is no common factor. Okay, just a minute. Probability of simultaneously happening two events A and B is given. This is something I am telling of conditional probability. It is the most interesting part and most difficult part of the probability. Conditional probability. What is the conditional probability? Probability, I am just citing a very easy example. Suppose today it is raining, then I will bring the umbrella. So bringing of umbrella totally depends upon the raining or rain. So that is called conditional event. So that if I say A is raining, B is umbrella, so B depends upon A, or then B is the dependent event or A is the independent event. So B depends upon A. That is why the formulas are given. Okay, when I am saying P B by A, the conditional probability of happening of B under the condition of A. Similarly, P A by B is conditional probability happening of A under the condition of that B has happened. And accordingly, I have given the formula P A dot P A multiply into P B by A, or P B into P A by B. Or if I make it like this, very simple, just I am doing one thing here. P B by A, P means B by A means the conditional probability of happening B under the condition that A has happened is equal to, okay, P A intersection B divided by P A. Just taking cross checking the formula. But similarly, you can do same thing. So you can use these formulas to get the best out of you. Okay. Then I come to the most interesting and most, this is the formula probably students might have not come across. What I mean to say, this is the most difficult formula. Then the conditional, this is something extension of conditional probability, but you have not gone through this particular formula. So this is why students might have faltered in the exam while solving this formula. Okay. So what I meant to say, you can go through the particular thing that is given. If an A event can only occur in conjunction with one of the n mutually exclusive and exhaustive event, E and E1 to E into n, and if A actually happens, then probability that it was preceded by the particular event E I1 to n is given by P I by A is equal to P A union E I divided by summation I to one to n P E I into P conditional probability A E I. Simplifying that, P E I into P A conditional probability E Y summation of P E Y P into A E Y. This is something, see, where I was solving the problem in initially taking A and B, but here I am taking more chances, more occurrences I 1 to n, then the formula becomes in such a way. You can see the formula, sometimes it might be difficult, but it is easier to understand by solving your problem. So problem should be taken up while understanding the questions. Okay, it is also known as your Bayes theorem. Okay. Means here I am saying two things are true. So that is what something, it is Bayes theorem. Okay, this is something difficult, but we can solve the problem. Okay, so you can solve the problem very easily, so that you can, if you go through the problems, okay, so you can solve the, you can understand the theory and solve the questions. Okay. See, again I am saying conjoint probability is a, say the probability of two things are true. I write P and B mean the probability that A and B both are true. If you learn about probability in the context of coin and tosses and dice, you might have learned the following formula. So thing is that it is something you have to take care of. Both the occurrence can be happen. Okay. So something like if for any A and B, so if the chance of rain on any given day is 0.5, then chance of rain on two consecutive days not 0.25. The probability is a bit higher. Something is like, you can research, but it is not easier to solve while doing the problem. For that reason, what I have to do, or what we have to do as a patient viewers or patient listeners, we have to take some questions, important questions, to understand the theory. Okay, so it will help you to understand. So now we will take some problems one by one to the understand what we have discussed, that can be implemented or not. Okay. If a coin and a die are tossed, what is the probability of getting a head on the coin and an even number on the die? Find the probability that leap year will have a 53 days. These are the two questions. Go to the solution. The coin is fair and probability of getting a head and tail are equal to 1 by 12. It is mistakenly taken 12. Okay. Finally, to calculate the probability of event A and B A intersection B, we have to multiply the calculate the probability, that is P A intersection B 1 by 2 plus 1 by 2 is equal to 1 by 4. That we have taken the answer from this formula. Okay, this particular formula. This one I have taken. Okay, so this formula I have put here. Very simple. Okay, the question is there. Just listen. If a coin die toss, what is the probability of getting a head on the coin and even number on the die? Okay, getting a head is your 1 by 2. Okay, plus, and even number on a die, even number die is again it is 1 by 2, because you can have 3 even number and 6 out of 6 outcomes, that is equal to 1 by 2, 1 by 2 is equal, that is equal to, you get the answer 1 by 4. So here is something like the 3 by 6 is not 36. Okay, this is 3 by 6 and this is 1 by 2, this is also 1 by 2, this is half, this is 3 by 6. Okay, so half. So don't get confused that something is written here. Okay, so only printing mistake is there. So 3 by 6 is equal to 1 by 2, that is half. So because we can have 3 even numbers, that is 2, 4 and 6. So we have taken 3 and outcome is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That is 6. So 1 by 2 is equal to, the answer is 1 by 2. And again we have taken 1 by 2 out of the head and tail are equal to 1 by 2. That is the answer. Have you got the answer? Okay. Second question. A normal year has 52 Mondays. The question is that how many the leap year will have 53 days. How to find the probability that a leap year will be 53 days. Okay. A normal year 52 Mondays, 52 Tuesdays. Okay. So 52 Wednesdays, 52 Thursdays, 52 Fridays, 52 Saturdays, 52 Sundays. Just why, how we have reached the 52? See, you see, in a year we have 12 months. In 12 months, we in each 12 months, we, if we go to 1 month, we have a 4 Mondays. Okay, so accordingly they have taken, or we have taken uh, 52 Mondays, 52 Tuesdays, like this. Okay, some days 31 is there, that is why 5 will come on. That is accordingly you have 52 Mondays. Okay, so like some years where you have 31st is there, so that can be chances of occurring of 52 Mondays, 52 Tuesdays, 52 Wednesday, 52 Thursday and 52 Fridays, 50 Saturday. These are common sense. And plus 1 day in a case of, because of leap year we have a 366 days instead of 365 days. So that could be anything depending upon the year under consideration. Okay, so that is not known to you. In addition to this, a leap year has an extra day which might be Monday or Tuesday or Wednesday or Sunday. Okay, so we have now reduced to question what is the probability that in a given pair of consecutive days of the year, one of them is a Sunday. See, try to understand. Normally we have Sundays. Okay, so but in this question we are taking the leap year. Leap year means something extra we are getting. So when we are getting extra, so what will happen? We have to consider 2 days at a time. 2 days at a time will make things easier for us. So for that, our sample space S is Monday, Tuesday, that extra day. Okay, between 2 days you have to take it, because 1 day is already unknown to you, plus leap year we have extra day unknown to you. So for that reason we have to consider 2 days at a time to know which were these days. Okay, so for that day we have to take in our sample space is equal to Monday, Tuesday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Wednesday, Thursday and Sunday, Monday. So number of elements in S is equal to n by 7, n7 is equal to 7. You have 7 sample spaces. Now question, what is the favorable outcomes? What are the outcomes? What we want in is a set is that comparison of elements. Okay, Saturday, Sunday, and Sunday, Monday. Because the extra day can be Saturday, Sunday, or Sunday, Monday. Okay, so number of elements or favorable elements can be 2. So by definition of probability of occurrence, as I discussed, Na by Ns is equal to 2 by 7. So then the answer is the probability that leap year has 50 through Sunday, that is 2 by 7. The answer is 2 by 7. Okay. A restaurant serves two special dishes, A and B, to its customer considering of 60% men and 40% women. 80% men are ordered dish A and rest is B, 70% women order B and rest A. What is the ratio of A to B should be the restaurant prepared two dishes. This is a condition of conditional probability, or you can say you can use the Bayes theorem. Okay. Let us define the following events. The customer order for dish A, that is, or B, that is dish A. The customer orders of dish B. M is the customer is a man, the custom W is the customer is a woman. So we are given in the question, from the question, PM is equal to probability 1 0.6, PW is 0.4. PAYM that is conditional probability, that is 0.8 from the question. Okay, then P by M, that is 0.2 from the questions. Okay, see, A by M is 1 0.1. How come B by M? 1 minus, if A order this much 0. Then 0.8 minus, this is called 0.2. This is called P by B by M. Similarly, you can get 0.3 and 0.7. Since the dish A is ordered by man or woman, we do not know whether it is a man or woman, we can write A as a disjoint union. Okay, that is mutually exclusive. So the answer will be A is equal to in A intersection M union A intersection W. Hence, the probability that the customer ordered the dish A is given by probability of A is equal to P probability of bracket A intersection M union A intersection W, that is equal to your P intersection by giving the by applying the formula, this formula, mutually exclusive formula, this formula. Okay, this formula, so don't get confused. So all these formulas are used here. Okay, PA intersection M plus P intersection W. So this part A intersection M, you have which formula I am using again? This formula, A intersection M, this formula. Okay, probability, conditional probability. Okay, so these two formula we are using. Okay, here we are using these two formula, P plus B formula and P intersection B formula is equal to this formula. Okay, okay. This particular formula we are using. Similarly, P B intersection A, you can say P A by B into PB. These formulas are using. Okay, are used here. So similarly, this you can get 0.6. Similarly, probably that customer orders for dish B. We had for dish A we have taken this. So dish B, similarly we can solve PM. Look at, instead of A we are putting B. Just simply nothing else. PW, PB by W, and answer will be 0.4. And the restaurant should prepare two dishes A, B in the ratio of 0.6 divided by 0.5, that is coming 3 by 2. See, look at these problems. I can simplify the problem to two parts. That is, a question is all about about solving the problems using your formula P A plus P B, that is formula, first one formula already discussed in the class, that is the formula of disjoint events of A and B, P A and conditional probability A intersection B and conditional probability of B intersection A. So these formulas already discussed which are used, but thing is that the moment you see the question, this question you might be get confused. That's what what will the answer? Simple. A and B to customer consist of 60% men and 40% women. 80% men order this A and rest is B. She means it is applied. It is saying something conditional probability and disjoint probability. 70% of women order B and rest so A. So in what ratio? This is the final outcome they're asking. The thing is that here is somebody if A order this, definitely B will order that because A and B cannot order the same thing. That is disjointing. And conditional probability means A order this, it means B will order that. Means when I rain, if it rains, I will bring the umbrella. So this thing is happening in this particular problem. So what you can do, you have to solve such question again and again from books. Particularly, I am recommending S.C. Gupta. Solving these problems, what will happen? If any books you find suitable to, you have some problems, by solving these problems, you will be acquainted with the languages. Unless until you are not acquainted with the languages, this may be different type of question will come. You may be faltering that exam. So for that, you should solve 3 to 4 questions in the exam. Some questions, some people will see this video and say, this is this why I cannot solve other problems. No, you have to take the problem, solve yourself by understanding the theories. But mind you, these are the areas from where the questions are coming. So I have shown the areas, I have shown the formulas, I have shown the questions. Now it is your duty to take them questions, solve them accordingly and practice them, then you definitely are going to get the answer, because no institution will provide you such an illustrative video by taking the previous year questions and where these questions are coming. We are categorically saying the questions are coming from S.C. Gupta, questions are coming from these areas. So this is just something done by Aptitude Plus Academy for Civil Service to crack the probability enigma or probability myth that nobody can solve the problem. No, you can solve the problem. You can leave the questions. Okay, but 8 to 10 marks can be achievable. This is the last year question. The odd against A speaking the truth are 4 by 6, while odd in favor of B speaking the truth are 7 by 3. What is the probability of that A and B contradict each other standing same fact? A and B do not contradict each other standing setting the same fact. This is something question is coming from a logic person. Okay, logic person question is coming. So you just give the understand, try to understand the question. Let's say E1 is an event implying A speaks truth, E2 an event implying B speaks truth. This means E and E2 represent complementary, E bar 1, E bar 2 represent complementary events, implying that A and B speak lie. If E1 says truth, definitely complementary event E1 will be lie. Similar that is the most important part of the discussion. That is something logically questions or probability, you can use the probability question. So given odd against A speaking truth 4 by 6 and PE1 is equal to 6 by 10. How I am getting the 10? Because this is 4 plus 4 by 6 or 6 by 4 by 6. And I am contradicting 1 minus PE, that is coming this one. This is what happened. Odds against speaking truth 4 by 6. Similarly, odds even speaking 7 by 3. These formulas are getting, these answers are coming for this formula. Now both A and B contradict each other can happen in the following mutually exclusive ways. A speak truth, okay, B tells lie. Then accordingly you get the signs, because for lie we have taken this one or this two. So accordingly I have taken this. Okay. A speaks truth and B tells lie. A tells lie and B speaks truth. Happened. Similarly, it is given. Since the above two events are mutually exclusive, therefore either the first or the second case is true. Then only A and B contradict each other. The formula will be PE. P E, this is something I have taken mutually exclusive event, already discussed. Okay, these are the conditions, E1 intersection E2 or E1 intersection E2. That is what happened. So A, B contradict each other. So P, there will be no other part. Okay. The PE1 plus E2 PE intersection to E2, and the answer will be PE1 into P2 PE1 to P2. This is something happened. So 3 by 5 into 3 by 10, 2 by 5 into 7 plus 10, that is answer 23 by 50. So here it has taken all the probability theorem to solve the problem. So you should not get confused that it is taken only one problem. So taking from the questions mutually exclusive, there are either first or second case is true. The only A will contradict each other. That means P is equal to P E1, means P is the outcome of the event. This can be this one, first condition, this conditions, for second conditions, and from this is the first con and this is the constant, and for that you have taken this one, this taken this one. Okay, here they have taken the conditional probability, this PE1 intersection E2, that conditional probability they have taken. Okay, very simple thing, you can solve. Okay, and put the formula P1 P2, you can solve the questions. Okay, because one more thing, see, when one more thing I am telling you, when and is in the question, then you have to multiply. When or is there, you can go for plus. This thing also should be remembered to you. Okay, so A and B contradict each other, that is why this plus is coming, this plus is coming. Okay. This is what they have been doing. A and B do not contradict each other means both speak same thing. This means A speaks truth, B speaks truth. A tells lie, B tells lie. Okay. Assume each other event in independent one. Therefore, probability both speaking to. Okay. That will be multiplication 3 by 5 into 7 by 10. When taking together, I have and you have taken one and, that is the multiplication. And their probability A do not contradict each other is taken by this one, the formula. Total sample space will be 21 by 50 plus 6 by 50. This is the sample space. Okay, this is the sample space. And this is something your outcome. This is the outcome. Both speaking truth. Okay. So this is where we have solved the problem. Now another question. This has come and this is again taken from the S.C. Gupta. This is again come in the previous year, some 2015 or 2011 previous question. So this is the question in a Bolt factory, ABC manufacture respectively 25%, 35% total. See, of their output, 5, 4, 2% are known to defective bolts. A bolt is drawn random from the product and is found to be defective. What are the probability that it was manufactured by machine A or machine B or C? See, machine A or B, this is something we have taken. This is the formula is, I am again showing the formula. If somebody is missing the slides or joining late, this is what the formula is very simple. This particular formula, yes, this formula I have taken, this Bayes theorem, rule of inverse probability. This particular theory is used here. Simple, but thing you have to know where I have to put and how to put and what are the things where I have to denote. So E1, E2, E3 denote respectively. See, here you are going earlier in the questions. Just mind it. We have some easier case of A and B, B and C, or A. Simply two numbers outcomes are there. Here you have n number of outcomes. That is why Bayes probabilities are coming. Okay, you have n number of outcomes. That is why Bayes probability is coming. E1, E2, E3 denote respectively the events that the bolt selected random is manufactured by the machines A and B and C respectively. Let E denote the event that is defective. Then we have just a simple E1, E2, that is the PEI is something that's PEY is the conditional probability 0.5, 0.0 which is given in the question. So P intersection EI is equal according to the conditional probability theorem I discussed in the earlier class. Okay. This is something you got. Okay. 0.3035 So this is what we have added. So how come this particular 0.345, that you have to know 0.0125, 0.0140, 0.080, this will come to 0.0345. okay, this is 220 and 245. This is the addition of all these things we'll getting, as I am showing. Hence, the probability of defective bolt chosen at a random is manufactured factory A is given by Bayes' rule. This has become rule, and it should be E rule, as we have put the Bayes' theorem. I do not want to show again. We have to tell the Bayes' theorem, and is 0.36. Similarly, we can have for factory B, factory C, that is E1, E2, 3 is given. The answer is coming 0.41, 0.23. Hence, the probability that is defective bolt chosen at a random is manufactured by machine B or C. PU1, B or C, I am telling you. When I am saying or, see, already discussed, or you are putting plus, and you have to put cross, multiplication, not cross, multiplication. Okay. So 0.41, 0.23, this is 0.6 per, or required probability, this is 0.0. Okay. We can get this way and get the answer also. Second part is another way of solving, or we can solve this way or this one, this way. This is because or we have taken the plus. Okay. So go through this slide and understand the question. See, I am trying to make things simpler. I am just showing you the path. You have to work on the path. You have to practice on that particular path. Then you can get the answer. By seeing this particular side, nobody can say that I can do each and every problem. No. I am showing the areas. I am showing the portions. I am showing the methods. And that is, you have to solve the problems accordingly. Okay. So this is where we finish the probability part. Then we will go to graphs. See, graphs are very easier questions are coming. Mostly graphs are coming in two parts. What I have seen in the last 4-5 years, graphs are coming in multi-bar. Mostly it is coming the multi-bar diagram, and sometimes it's a pie chart. But multi-bar diagram is definitely coming 1-2 times or 3 times it has come. So multi-bar diagram, this is a question I have taken. So this is nothing very. You have probably students are preparing for DIEs, all these things. They might have encounter such question again and again, but they do not know how to. They have the question and they have to solve, but they do not know how to form the question. This is one. Year 2015, West North. This is a regional rainfall indices during the year 2015 to 2017. This is a question has come in 2015 OCS man examination. West, North, East, South, Center. These are the regions of India that is given the rainfall. I have put in the bar diagram. See, very simple. You have to take in a note, because you have given a graph at the last. You just mark it, understand it, and make XY plane, center, south, east, north, west. You can do. This is in the X plane, Y plane. We have taken the indices, and in the area region we have taken the Y plane. So you can do the vice versa in the reverse. No issue. You can take also center, south, east zones in the X plane and the rainfall indices in the Y plane. You can solve the questions. No issue. Okay. So pie chart you can solve. No issue in that. Isn't that? This is something DI. Next part is your data interpretation question. See, probably these areas are not coming frequently, but last time we have seen such a question. So probably this time they can ask a question. So why should I leave this particular part? So we have tried to touch each, try to touch upon all the areas which can, from which areas there can be a question. Okay. So look at this, the multiple bar diagrams. The picture is bit hazy. You can see from the last year, you know, last year question you have got the 2018 GS2. I have taken this question very easily. You can see the question. And this is something a bar diagram, and this is given ratio average. This is asking. This is something asked in the preliminary question also. Very easy to understand. Average you just add it and divide it. So nothing is there. Okay, something. So something, you know, this question is about JK Cement Company, of all this company about 2002 2004. Very simple to answer. Just DI works, nothing. Average production, because 3 years divided by 3, amount by divided. This is something very easy to calculate, and we have to find out the which one is the highest. Okay. Similarly, a pie chart is given. In pie chart, just you have to remember the total person is 360 degree, and accordingly you have to, if you find a particular proportion, if it's 72 degree, then you 72 by 360 degree. That is what you have to do. Similarly, any area 54 of area is 53 by 360 degree. You have to calculate. This is what you have to means that, and you have to get. That is the trick. Nothing else. Total area 360 degree, and you can solve the question. Following pie charts are done. If for a country quantity of books, publisher has to pay rupees 30,600 printing cost, then what will be the amount of royalty to pay these books? Simple, simple. This is a question where instead of amount, it is given in a degrees. Degrees into converted into particular amount by divided by 360 degree. Okay, this is something proportion, ratio proportion question. In a ratio proportion question, you have the amounts here 360 degree. You don't have to take in total. Okay, this is something they have solved. I have 70, as I discussed, 50 to 15%. Okay, number of copies, this one profit, selling price, cost price. Okay, this is something they have taken. This is something that have nothing important. You can easily solve this. Okay, selling price, cost price, profit is what? Your selling price minus cost price, that is profit. Or somebody will ask you percentage of a particular percentage of profit, that is SP minus CP divided by CP into 100. This formula should be known to also. So this is why loss, in case of loss, you can take CP minus SP divided by CP, always CP, not SP, okay, 100. So this is what you have to take, plus percentage, and this is they have taken nothing else they have doing. Proportional railway cost, the degrees, number of copies published, and translation cost you have to add, because selling price total cost of the book plus properties, proportional transport 36 by 360. Already transportation cost is given in the picture that you can solve. So this is where we have finished the particular discussion. Hope you understand the questions. I have tried my best to make you understand. See, this is something, this is already, I am saying the video is sponsored by Aptitude Plus Academy for Civil Service. This is something we have tried to make you realize the portion of the questions, the areas from where the questions are coming, and what will be your approach, what will the formulas. But if you want to see, one thing is sure in the mathematics, that if you want to get more and more result, you have to practice. You have to practice such problems. Okay, and if you want a detailed solution of this question problems, you have a Aptitude Plus Academy Civil Service, where you have all these books and questions and solutions. You can get that and you can easily solve this. Okay, hope you understand particular slides. Thank you for patient hearing. See you in the next presentation. Thank you.